Set. Black 80. Black 80 hot. Here we go. White 80. White 80 hot.
Second down and 4. Kaepernick keeps it. Fooled everybody. Colin Kaepernick. What a game. Touchdown.
Yes. That's awesome. What? You just took one in the jugular, man.
You're crazy. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. I like you. But you're crazy. What's going on, internet world, YouTube, Google Plus? You're watching CS Report. Thank you for joining us here on a lovely Friday afternoon. At least it is in Nevada. How's it in Ohio, Tom?
A little bit humid, but not too bad.
All right. Again, this is CS Report episode 3. We're actually planning on doing a live mock draft in about 7 minutes on Yahoo. We're going to discuss maybe some of our rankings, a few top stories before we get into that, and then who's overvalued and undervalued. Thank you for joining us. Once again, I'm Al King. He is Mr. Tom Downey. You can follow me at AlKing906 or him at WhatGoingDowney. So let's jump into the top stories, unless you want to have a small chit-chat before we move forward.
I think we just do top stories.
Okay, fine. We're not friends. Okay, that's fine.
Whatever. We're not. There hasn't been, I don't think, too much since the last time we were on, but both Browns quarterbacks have not looked good, both Hoyer and Johnny Football, and then Eli Manning as well has looked terrible. So I would just avoid all 3 of those guys in drafts, even in deep leagues.
My follow-up question for that, I guess, would be obviously the Browns receivers. If Josh Gordon is suspended for the whole year, you're not going to draft any other one, no matter how good the quarterback looked, correct?
No, I mean, unless you really want to bank on Miles Austin. I don't think they have much else. Miles, hamstring injury, Austin.
Right.
Always has a hammy.
And with the Browns quarterbacks looking bad, that makes the receiving group even worse.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Gordon and Cameron are worth taking. Gordon very much dependent on what happens with the suspension. For me, the longer this goes, the more I think they can't suspend him for the whole year. Because the PR would just be terrible.
Yeah, it really would be.
So,
I can't believe how long they've actually let it drag on.
It was supposed to be within a reasonable time, and that has clearly just gone out the window.
Seriously. And then for Eli, how confident are you in drafting guys like Victor Cruz, Ruben Randall?
I was never that confident in Randall to begin with. Cruz, I think I'm a little bit down on, but just from what I've seen, the Giants are moving to this quick pass offense where they make 1-2 reads, get the ball out of his hand. Problem is, Eli makes the first read, he's not open, he tries to go to the second, and the defensive line has already gotten past the Giants' O-line because that offensive line is just terrible. Eli has no time in the pocket.
Yeah, he's not mobile at all. He's
not. It's just not a good offense right now.
Right. Yeah, they scared me a lot to the point where I've moved Victor Cruz down a couple of rounds. Just to make sure that I don't draft him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because someone else will draft him in his, 4th, 5th round range, but I don't want to touch him there.
Can't say I blame you at all there. They just have not looked that good.
Right. All right.
As a Cowboy fan, makes me a little bit happier, but I know full well this Cowboys team is not going to be good.
Only on the defensive side.
I mean, the offense will put up a lot of points, but does it matter when your defense is just going to give up like 50 a game?
Right. I was actually talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he said that there's a few teams that you could maybe draft the core of that team and possibly win a fantasy league, and Cowboys is one of them because they're going to be throwing a lot and having to score a lot. So if you got Romo, Bryant, Witten, Murray, and even Terrence Williams, you could win yourself a few weeks for sure, maybe even the league.
I mean, during that Cowboy bye week, you're going to get destroyed,
Of
but
course. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, just one loss.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk really quickly about the Steelers running backs,
hmm
how they both were arrested Wednesday afternoon, and then they both ended up playing Thursday night, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
Um, NFL winning again. Um,
Surprise, surprise.
um, but supposedly they both had 20 grams on them. I don't know how much that is. That kind of seems like a lot. Um, and Le'Veon Bell had to pay his own way to pitch or to where did they play?
Philly.
Philly. That's right. He had to pay his own way to Philly, I guess, probably because he had some legal proceedings. Because he got popped with the DUI as well. What do you think about them being able to
Hmm.
play?
I I don't like it. I don't think that's a very smart move, if only just to avoid the negative press. But come regular season, I want them playing mostly because I have Bell in a league. But that's beside the point.
See, for me, I think I would have been if I was the Steelers, I would have been. It's the preseason. Who cares? You're not hurting your team. I would have just told them you guys aren't playing these next 2 games.
Yeah, it just would have made so much more sense.
Yeah, but I guess their punishment, according to Mike Tomlin, who said after the game, was them playing into the fourth quarter. So I don't understand that. I mean, I guess because it's a preseason and you're playing with backups at that point, but I don't know. That's weird to me that that's the punishment. Your punishment is to go out and do what you love.
Go figure.
Yeah. Uh, that's my dog. Noodle's in the show this week.
Wait, your dog's name is Noodles?
Noodle.
Noodle?
Yeah, one singular noodle.
Why'd you name it Noodle?
Well, it's my girlfriend's dog, so she knows the story. I didn't disagree. You know better than to disagree with a
A female? Yeah, it
yeah.
does not go well.
So I was just like, okay, that's fine. I will call him Noodle. All right, so the mock draft is set to start in 2 minutes. We're doing it on Yahoo. I'm pick 3, you're pick 8. Are we going to treat this like a standard league, right? Not PPR?
Yeah, standard league I think will be best.
Okay, yeah, because I think these are standard drafts, unless you can come to an agreement in the minute and a half that you have to talk to people that, hey, we're going to do PPR, right? And wait for them to
Yeah.
respond. It usually goes standard. So,
I don't know if you saw this story from SB Nation about how to ruin a mock draft. It was one
no.
of the funniest things I've seen. He had like the guy that wrote, I forget his name, had like screen grabs of like the chats you would get into. Just hilarious.
That's too funny.
It was just so perfect.
I'll have to look it up. Um,
So you're picking 3, I'm picking 8.
uh-huh.
What's your game plan?
Well, obviously, I'm going to go running back first pick.
Yeah.
If you're in the top 3, top 4 even, I think you have to go running back. Unless you want to ruin a mock draft, like you were saying. Um, I had someone take Devlin, the fullback from the Patriots, in the first round, and then came back and took that Timms guy, the receiver from the Patriots. It's pretty annoying.
Wow.
Are you still seeing? Okay, there we go. I just saw
Yeah.
only a picture of me. How about you for pick 8? What's your strategy?
Praying to God that Eddie Lacy falls to me.
Yeah.
That is the current plan. Um, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But
I've had it happen a few times,
I
actually.
mean, for the most part, so far, like most of my drafts and mock drafts, I've been in that top 3 range where I really, really want to be, but I haven't had much work picking late.
Uh,
So I figured I'll try that this time, and we'll see how much I hate my team. Probably a lot.
I did one yesterday. Finally liked the team that I drafted. So I might have found a strategy. We'll see though.
We'll see how much lag there is between us two. That'll be interesting.
Right. How long until your draft starts? Mine's 30 seconds even now.
That's what mine's at. So far so good.
Right. Let's see, 20 seconds out. On the archived version, we'll have the actual mock draft board over our voices. I actually have a screen recording right now, so I don't really see. I'm not going to be able to see you.
Okay.
But let me know if my computer starts doing anything weird.
Okay.
All right, so the draft has started. You get 30 seconds to pick. First pick, Adrian Peterson.
Makes sense.
Shocker.
You can't go wrong with Peterson, McCoy, Charles.
Right. I like McCoy personally, number 1 overall. Charles went 2, so that leaves me with who I just said I like number 1 overall at 3, LaShawn McCoy, which makes me incredibly happy to start this draft. And I'm already hollering championship.
Well, there are 2 more halfbacks left that I'll take. I'm kind of surprised Lynch is 10 on this. I thought he'd be higher.
He was originally 6 when these first came out. Lacey went 4.
And there's an auto pick right before me, 2 picks,
There's 2 of them.
This is just going to screw me.
Calvin at 5, but Lacey went at 4, so maybe Forte's the one that falls. Although there's auto picks.
Auto pick's going to take Matt Forte.
Of course.
Yeah,
Forte went number 6.
Well, this could be real bad if Graham goes here.
I was going to say, what happens?
That's kind of who I want.
Okay.
Because I think there's an outside chance that Marshawn Lynch goes back around. Because there's no way Jimmy Graham falls to me, but maybe Lynch falls. So I'll take Graham and then see what happens.
So Thomas went 7. You took Graham at 8. People still on the board is Des Bryant, Marshawn Lynch, AJ Green. Bryant went 9.
Oh,
it's crazy. There went Lynch at 10. At the end of the first round, AJ Green 11th. It's crazy to me the amount of non-running backs that are going in drafts this year in the first round.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a passing league. The league's changing. You're up here with your 13th pick. What are you going to do?
Peyton is the highest guy on my board. I haven't done this all year where I've gone QB tight end. So we'll see what my team looks like, but so far not very happy.
Jimmy
now I
Manning. Yeah, now you sit there. You can commentate on it too if you want. You know, you can say what picks went and everything.
Well, there goes DeMarco Murray, so relatively scratch so far for all those picks.
Which is good in a mock draft because, you know, you don't want people blowing it up like we were talking about.
Yeah, it's always kind of funny. So.
It is. Rodgers at 16, Monty Ball at 15.
I think it's a reach for Aaron at 16.
Yeah, he's probably a Packer fan.
Probably.
She. Sorry, I don't want to sound, you know. So Giovanni Bernard went at 17th, who I was considering taking. I already have LaShawn McCoy. So I know I'm good with my RB1, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take a receiver here. And I'm going to go ahead and risk it with Julio Jones. I say risk just because of, you know, the health concerns. But if he is the player that he was before, then it's not much of a risk at pick 18.
Not at all.
The very next pick went Jordy Nelson, who I considered taking over Julio. And then Drew Brees going 20th.
I like seeing all these QBs go early because that means, you know, a halfback or a receiver will fall to me, possibly, but probably not. Still a lot of guys I like on that board. Ellington. I'm surprised he's 17 on Yahoo's.
Right, on their rankings.
That's really high.
He falls a little bit further than that ranking goes too. Wait until you see the Toby Gerhart plunge that
Oh
happens
my,
here.
how is he 28? That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
They have him before Doug Martin at 29, after Alfred Morris at 27.
Wow.
But he sits out there for a while. Okay, so Drew Brees, Randall Cobb, Alfred Morris, 3 picks before mine. I'm back here on the 23rd pick. Andre Ellington's still sitting there. So is Zach Stacy, Alshon Jeffrey, Arian Foster, Antonio Brown.
A lot of good options.
There is. And I think, you know what, I'm going to go and solidify my wide receivers. And I'm going to take Antonio Brown. Some would say maybe a little early, but he already looks impressive in the preseason. He had an amazing year last year. And he's really the only guy that Roethlisberger seems to be connecting with at the time, or at the moment. So I like Brown over Jeffrey. Do you agree with that?
I have Jeffrey above Brown, but it's really, either pick is going to be really, really good for you.
Mhm. I also did that to see exactly where Ellington, Bell, Stacy, Foster, see how far they actually fall. Because, like you said, Ellington ranked 17 by Yahoo is a little high, and people are letting them slide, already according to that ranking.
Yeah. Well,
And
auto pick just grabbed him.
of course, I got to remember auto picks are in here.
Yeah.
And we had our first team leave, making it 3 auto picks.
Great, and they're just all like around me. They are
Yeah.
all there. It's auto pick me, auto pick, auto pick. I'm picking Stacy here. I have Le'Veon Bell ahead on my board, but with the possible suspension, I'll just play it a little bit safer now and take Stacy.
You know what I'm thinking for this suspension with Bell is if the team doesn't do anything this year, then there will be no suspension. I think
can
it's
see
going to
that.
be Marshawn Lynch type. Remember when he was busted for, I don't remember, I think it was alcohol, a DUI maybe?
You might be right, yeah.
And it was put off like a year and a half before he was finally suspended. So, I mean, Le'Veon Bell could go out, hire himself an attorney that can just completely delay the process. So I think Bell won't get suspended. Blunt might because of a repeat offender, but we'll see. All right, now we're back to the auto pick, your pick, auto pick, auto pick.
Yeah. There goes Arian Foster. So I'll take Vincent Jackson here, get myself my first receiver. I don't like having Vincent Jackson as my one. That really scares me. But thank God this is a mock draft. But again, more auto pick, which just drives me insane. So they'll probably take Gerhardt here and then Cruz. Or go out of
Cruz
order.
went first, yeah. I'm telling you, Gerhardt slides. I don't know. I mean, maybe the auto pick won't let him slide, but man, he's still there. It went Cruz White.
Well, here's why. I just pulled up that guy's roster. He already had 2 halfbacks.
Okay,
So
makes
we'll
sense.
see how far Gerhardt falls. I mean, I have Gerhardt as a 7th round pick,
Mm-hmm.
and these guys have him in round 3, and that's. I mean, I get that he's going to be the starter in Jacksonville, but Jacksonville,
So you think what do you call him? White Thunder?
White Thunder.
You think he's overvalued for
Oh yeah,
Yahoo?
oh yeah.
Okay. Would you say at this moment Mark Ingram is undervalued?
Where's he going right now?
Hang on, let me make my pick. Sorry, gotta concentrate. Mock draft, serious business.
Understandable.
All right, so I have 2 wide receivers and a running back, LaShawn McCoy. The running backs that are in front of me, Ryan Matthews, C.J. Spiller, Rashad Jennings, Reggie Bush. Since the time is running out on me, I'm going to go ahead and go Ryan Matthews and hope that he doesn't get hurt. because he has the potential to get a lot more carries than C.J. Spiller, although Spiller has the potential to get the same amount of yards on not as many carries.
Yeah.
But it's
Although
hard to
Matthews-
draft into a committee,
Yeah.
Compared to a guy who is supposed to be the lead back.
Matthews is made of glass, though.
He is. Last year was his only full season, I believe. And he probably missed a game. I could be incorrect. He probably missed a game. And the Gerhardt slide continues.
Can't say I'm surprised there.
Right. Cordell Patterson, Percy Harvin both went before guys like Deshaun Jackson, Michael Floyd, Michael Crabtree, Wes Welker. Do you agree with those picks there? Harvin and Patterson?
The only guy I have above Patterson is Torrey Smith, and he hasn't even gone yet.
Did you see?
I'm high on Cordell, so.
Okay. They just took Michael Crabtree one pick in front of me. Who was that? They must read my stuff. Man. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take my flex player here, even though it's not in the mock, and I'm going to go C.J. Spiller at flex. I think if you have him as a flex, he's worth it, especially if you're in a PPR league, but I know we're doing standard.
Yeah.
But having Spiller as your third running back where you don't have to start him, really, ever, if you don't want to, makes him a little bit more comfortable on your team.
And the Gerhardt slide stops now.
Aha. Was it not a pick that took him, or?
I don't think so.
Okay. He went right after Spiller at 44. Well, you took tight end quarterback. What's your team shaping up like so far?
Good at those two spots, bad at receiver and halfback.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. I mean, it's the exact opposite of the team we discussed on our last podcast, where my number 3 receiver was Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, and this time your number 1 is Vincent Jackson.
Yeah, which they're going like roughly the same range.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not that great.
So what's your game plan here in this pick? 48.
I'm gonna take Reggae Bush. Don't feel super confident about that. I better make sure I get Bell later on, but I'll just stick with Bush for now, and we'll see what happens. Knowing I still need a flex and another receiver.
Yeah, that's tough, going tight end quarterback. I know you were just doing it just to see, but man, it gets rough.
I mean, well, they were the best players on my board too.
Right.
Which doesn't really, make me feel that much better, but
So your two backs are Reginald Bush and
Zach Stacy.
Zach. I like Stacy. He's in a very tough division to rush, but I don't think that really devalues him because
Not really.
he's going to get opportunities. So
Torrey
Smith just went.
And so did Torrey Smith. I really wanted him. I thought he would be available on the way back. So that one kind of hurts a little bit.
Hey, Aaron's no longer on auto pick.
And he just took the guy I was going to take. And Frank Gore.
Welcome to the draft, Aaron.
Well, the top 2 players on my board right now are Andrew Luck and Vernon Davis, neither of whom I'm going to take because I already have that position filled, and I don't think Vernon is that good a value. So I'll take T.Y. Hilton, and having him as my number 2 receiver just scares me.
I see you took T.Y. over Deshaun Jackson.
I have T.Y. ahead of Deshaun on my big board too. They're wide receiver 20, wide receiver 21. So not like they're differentiated by that much.
Right. I believe I have T.Y. Hilton higher than Jackson as well. Matt Ryan went, so now I expect a quarterback run to emerge all of a sudden. Where people
I'm really
freak
surprised he went so high.
At 55?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got Cam, RG3, and Luck on the board still.
Yeah, I have Luck higher than Ryan. I don't have RG3 or Cam higher than Ryan on my board.
I think I have all three of them higher, though. It's once you get outside the top three, it's all pretty close from about
Yeah,
about 4 to 12
it is.
at
It is.
QB.
I've been taking Andrew Luck a lot in a lot of mock drafts, and he's still sitting there. His average draft pick in Yahoo is 55.9. Right now, I'm sitting at pick 58. Cam Newton just went off the board after Chris Johnson at 56, which is way too early for Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a tight end and see what quarterback I can get later. I'm going to take Jordan Cameron, even though we did talk about how the Browns quarterbacks don't look very good. Jordan Cameron is going to be the man, especially if Gordon does have to miss time. So I think he actually presents a better value in this area than Vernon Davis.
Here's the thing that I'm mad about, like in these mock drafts, and this is what I've been noticing, is that, yeah, I took, Peyton Manning, and I love Luck this year, and I could have had him in round 6 and taken a dynamite halfback if I had been drafting earlier.
Right.
So I just like my team so much more when I get, a halfback and a receiver early and wait on QB.
Mm-hmm. Do you think if you would have went Graham and then I don't know, Gio Bernard or a top wide receiver, you would be happier with your team?
Maybe. I mean, I think Brandon Marshall was on the board, I think, going back, but, it's not. I don't know if that's really the best play because I still have Peyton higher on my board.
Right.
So
I need a third receiver here, and I am running out of time, and it's going to... Did I get it in? I did not. It gave me Deshaun Jackson. I was going to take Terrence Williams ahead of Deshaun Jackson.
Really?
Yes. I think Terrence Williams, for reasons that we spoke earlier, I believe that was on air talking about the Cowboys core.
Yeah.
I think Terrence Williams has 1,200 yards, 6 to 8 touchdowns, opposite of Des Bryant, who's going to have himself 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns. I could see maybe even a career high in passing yards for Tony Romo this year. So I know they say they're going to...
a lot.
Right. I know they're saying they want to run the ball more, but Scott Linehan's there, and I don't know if I see that for Deshaun Jackson. I think his targets go down with Pierre Garçon and Jordan Reed there. Andre Roberts seems to have a bit of a connection with RG3. I don't think Deshaun Jackson gets to 1,200 yards, and he's never really been a touchdown machine. So.
Fair enough. I'll take Ben Tate here. I'm really surprised he's still on the board. I know Yahoo's not very high on him, but I've seen him go in round 4 or 5 in a lot of mocks. Even though Yahoo has this receiver instead of a flex as their other spot, but
Right.
I'm just gonna pretend like Ben Tate is my flex.
Yeah, that's what I did with CJ Spiller, because I usually do play in Yahoo, so I'm used to the 3 receiver, 2 running back format.
Yeah.
And then my flex would be either running back, receiver, or tight end.
Oh, defense gone.
Was it not a pick? It had to be, right?
No, it was not.
Wow.
It was an
I don't know.
action.
I
And then
just
Dwayne
don't
Bowe.
get it. Oh, wow.
What?
I just don't get it. Dwayne Bowe, okay.
Both of those picks are just not good.
No, I agree.
I'll be blunt. I don't like either of those picks. Oh, and it's my pick too. Crap.
Yeah.
Okay,
8,
that's not good.
7, 6. Sorry, Tom.
All right. Well, we're gonna go another halfback because Stephen Ridley is the best player on my board, even though he's just so many fumbles. But in round 8, why not?
A friend of mine was playing Madden last night. San Francisco D.
What?
Auto pick. It was an auto pick. So
Okay, but
filling
still.
out the roster. But yeah, San Francisco D for some reason is still the second. Wow, then St. Louis D. So
Auto pick.
yeah, auto pick.
picks
So
galore.
3 NFC West defenses already off the board. San Francisco is still surprisingly the second one off the board in most ADPs that you look at. And I advise you, being a Niner fan, buyer beware on that. They are not going to be the same defense they were last year. Bowman's out till week 9. Smith could get suspended anywhere from 4 to 6 games. Aldon Smith, that is. So the pass rush won't be as prevalent.
Another defense.
Wow, and it was an NFC West defense.
What?
Wow. So
Don't
all 4 of
understand.
those are gone. And remember, I was wanting to take Terrence Williams, my last pick. He's still sitting there.
Well,
And I have
that
3
turned out-
running backs already.
That turned
And I
out
think-
real well for you then.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and draft Terrence Williams. I mean, I don't like Deshaun Jackson, but as my wide receiver 4 or, 3-4, I'm not terribly upset with it. I still don't have a quarterback.
It's all right. There are plenty.
Yeah, the top one's out there: Tom Brady, Tony Romo, Jay Cutler, who keeps moving up boards for good reason.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick, I don't think I'll take him, but I'm gonna go ahead and put him in my queue. Let's go. I'm gonna go and look at your team really quick,
Go
so
for it.
people can see it.
And there goes Mike Wallace. He always goes high. Don't know why.
I wouldn't. He's very overrated. So you have Manning.
He can do one thing, and that's go deep.
Yep.
That's about it.
Yep. You know that people make that argument with Torrey Smith as well. I think this year Smith is going to surprise some people. He's going to run some better routes. Manning, Jackson, Hilton.
There goes your boy.
Search. Hey, Jordan Reed. I actually have been taking him almost in every single mock that I've done, but I decided to change it up today and go Jordan Cameron.
Fair enough.
All right. So, like I said, I need a quarterback here. Or I could take another running back for depth. But as I look at the running backs, it's kind of starting to get barren here. And I'm not touching.
And you're running out of time.
Yeah, I did run out of time. I'm taking Tony Romo. Yes, I did. I got it in there. So I took Tony Romo with that pick.
Hey, another defense.
Wow, Carolina, another defense to not be so high on this year. They've lost a lot of pieces.
And a kicker.
Wow. Auto pick.
God, I hate auto picks so much. Although I'm okay with it now because I'm kicker.
Wow, because you're going to have people slide. Wow.
Will we make it 3 in a row?
Do it. Do it, Team RR.
All right.
Indeed. Can we make it 4 in a row, Tom?
No. I'm gonna play very risky move here. I'm gonna take Trent and wait on another halfback. At this point, I'm totally fine with taking Trent in the 9th round, just in case he has a nice season, and we'll see if my receiver that I want falls to me. Can we make it another kicker?
I'm going to say yes.
Oh,
Tom Brady. That's actually a good pick there.
That's no fun.
So I need another running back because I only have the 3, and 2 of them happen to be C.J. Spiller and Ryan Matthews.
Well, I already have 5, so.
So that's where they've all went.
Yes, and I have 2 receivers.
Oh.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll be
so
fine.
who are you thinking? I think I know who you're thinking for receiver now that I went and looked at the list.
Who do you think I'm thinking?
Golden Tate?
Nope, I'm not that high on Golden Tate this year.
Okay.
Also, this is I'm actually looking at my team now. This is gonna be really scary, but that's gonna be okay.
Emmanuel Sanders?
Reggie Wayne, who I think Yahoo has way too low. I've got him a whole 20 picks higher, but I'm now starting T.Y. Hilton and Wayne, so that's a little bit scary, but
that is
whatever. It's a mock.
It is. You're not worried about Wayne's 35-year-old coming off the ACL, blah blah blah.
I think he'll be fine. I mean, he's always kind of been a really good athlete. But I mean, plus it was round 10. I mean,
right.
I'd be scared if I was doing this in like round 5 or round 6 or round 7 where I had him slotted. But
Okay, so I know I said I needed another running back.
you're not going to do it. You're going to take Golden Tate.
The running backs that are out there right now are just not worth this round of a pick, I don't believe. I don't want to take Steven Jackson here. Pierre Thomas I don't want to take, so I am going to go ahead and do what you said and take Golden Tate. Because
you're all about Golden Tate.
I'm so predictable. So predictable. I honestly looked at Brandon Cooks, too. I know we were talking about earlier, I think, before the show, how he's kind of overvalued now. But, I mean, we're in round 10 now, round 11. That's a good spot to take him, not 7, 6, 7, 8, where I've been seeing him go. And right on cue.
Perfect timing.
Brandon Cooks gets picked with the 101st overall. Now, I really do need a running back, so I'm just going to go to the list of running backs. Right now I have Andre Williams, Devontae Freeman, and D'Angelo Williams all in my queue. This would be a little early to take any of those guys.
Well, I'll tell you who I would take, and that's Pierre Thomas.
Yeah, and get him for, receptions. I think he's more of a PPR guy, and since we're doing standard, I was going to stay away from him. But
I mean, I still think he's going to be the lead back, and you mentioned PPR. He caught more passes than Darren Sproles did.
I know. You know what I did? I went ahead and went Steven Jackson because my very next pick, I'm going to take his backup for when Steven Jackson gets hurt. Not if, but when. Man.
Now, are you talking his current backup or the backup that will be the guy?
The backup that'll be the guy who gets the bulk of the carries, I guess, if Jackson goes down for an amount of time.
In week 6, okay. So you're going to take Devonta Freeman.
Yeah. Yep. Unless you take him from me, I shouldn't have given my strategy away.
I'm not. He's not as high up on my board.
Right. Well, I mean, the only reason I'm doing this is because I went ahead and took Jackson.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's your pick. I'll let you talk.
I mean, I have a halfback as the best player on my board, so I might as well just do it, and that's Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
I now have 6 halfbacks.
Whew. There's nothing wrong with that, though, because people are going to need them, and you can trade them.
Yeah, so...
I wish this was a real league. I wish we could have gotten a chat sports league to happen, but that kind of fell from the wayside.
That did end up falling apart on us?
Yeah, I don't think there's enough behind it, I guess. That's okay, though. I don't need a 12th league.
Well, that's no fun. But
so Jeremy Hill.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go receiver on the way back here.
Yeah.
I don't think I can carry 7 halfbacks into the season. That just would not be fair.
I'm gonna pull up your team right now. So
I would have no depth everywhere else.
All right. So this is Tom's team here. He's 1 pick away from pick 113. Like he said, he has 6 running backs already. There's 4 of them on his bench. No wide receivers on his bench yet. So Tom's pretty predictable right now.
Well, that'll change because I'm going Cecil Shorts here, the rare Jaguar player. But best player on my board. I had him as like a top 80 pick, and I'm getting him at 115. So
I'm actually shocked a little bit at the fact that you took him as Sanders went the very next pick, a pick higher than Sanders when you have Peyton Manning. I thought maybe pairing those two that late in the draft would be beneficial.
I've never really looked that much into the whole pairing thing. It used to be something I did a lot, and I mean it's great when it works, but when it doesn't, it kind of blows up in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And I think plus it's normally kind of tough, to make happen.
Right. All right. So Alex Smith went Ugh. With
Ahead
the
of
100.
Phillip Rivers. That blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't
That
understand.
blows my mind.
The guy has to be a Chiefs fan. I think that's the same person that took Dwayne Bell.
Oh, well, actually, he went 2 picks after Phil, but
Oh, there
still,
we go. Yeah.
still.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stick to my strategy. I'm going to take Steven Jackson's backup here.
All right.
So now I have both Falcons running backs on my bench, along with a third running back in Spiller and 2 wide receivers. So I'm probably going to go one more wide receiver here in the 13th round. Are we drafting kickers and defense, Tom, just to be politically correct?
Yeah, we might as well.
Okay.
Um, and do you
Devin
see who is
Benjamin
now? Do you see who's now showing up on the big board for Yahoo?
Mark
119.
Ingram?
119 overall.
Oh, yeah,
You see
Josh
it?
Gordon.
Josh
Yeah.
Gordon, who I took in my league back home in the last round, third to last pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking more and more he's not going to get suspended. So this is only a 15-team league.
Right.
So I probably won't take him.
Or 15-round draft, you mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take my flyer here, Mark Ingram.
Okay.
I know I said I was going to go wide receiver, but apparently I want to have 6 running backs on my roster as well.
You lied.
I did. I lied to everyone, blatantly in their face. Now, I see Andre Williams out there still, and he's been pretty impressive so far this preseason. I know it's only preseason and, whatnot, but he's going to be the goal line back, and Rashad Jennings isn't exactly made of steel.
No, he's not.
So I almost took Andre Williams over Mark Ingram, but I've been hyping up Mark Ingram so much that I felt like I had to. I was obligated. So now it's your pick, Tom. Did I lose you?
I'm here.
Okay. Sorry, my computer went weird.
A little weird. So I just took Josh Gordon and said, screw it.
You did it.
So I'll just wait. And then Alfredo Lopez got back in, so I probably could have waited a whole round to take him, but
Right.
whatever. Worth the risk as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, there's not much risk at 13th round,
No. I mean, once you get past round 12 or so, there's no such thing as a bad pick, really.
Right. Tavon Austin coming off the board. I don't think I draft him. PPR or not, I wouldn't.
Yeah. I'd rather have Amendola, who went 1 pick after him.
Right, I agree. Now, do you do kicker first or defense first? What's your strategy? Your picks up?
Kicker, and I wanted to take Justin Tucker, and I'm really upset that he just went off the board because of stupid auto pick. But I'll take Dan Bailey. He's a Cowboy, and with kicker, you can just take your favorite team's kicker, because it hardly matters.
Right.
Unless your kicker is on a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brown for the Giants or whatever. But Bailey makes sense. He's gonna at least get a lot of extra points.
Right.
So, and Dallas tends to have problems in the red zone. So,
I think I usually go defense first, but I wouldn't look at the list of defenses, and the ones that are out there, I'd probably rather go kicker before.
I almost always go kicker because the defense I always take is always on the board, every time.
It's just because you like to stream. You look at the week 1 matchup or top week 2 matchups. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints kicker. He's going to get a lot of extra points. They move the ball up and down the field, and he kicks indoors, which is kind of a big thing for me. So I'm going to take Shane Graham. It was between him or Blair Walsh for me, but I've always been a big supporter of the kicker that kicks indoors.
I would have taken Blair Walsh
over Graham.
Coming from Cincinnati, Shane Graham is not very well liked.
Yeah.
You missed a couple big field goals that Really got some people mad at him.
That upset more than a few.
Yeah.
All right, so I kind of have Denver defense ranked a little high on my board,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still sitting out there as the top ranked defense now. And their ADP actually in this is 98.2 for auto picks, obviously. But I'm going to go ahead and draft Denver with DeMarcus Ware there, Von Miller, TJ Ward now in the backfield. They might have a pretty solid fantasy defense this year. If I was able to land them in my big draft, I might not worry about streaming, actually.
You call it streaming, I call it matchup defense. I guarantee my defense is going to be there. I almost always pick Philly in my drafts. They're ranked 1,789 among defenses. But they play the Jacksonville Jaguars in week one.
Yeah,
and you can see they're one of those teams that are actually have an ADP, unlike Washington, San Diego, Minnesota.
Tennessee doesn't have one.
Somehow Dallas is ranked ahead of Philly. I don't know how. Whatever.
Cowboy fans, you guys are all crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, very true. But I mean, they play the Jags week one. I'll cut them after that. I'm fine with that. So we're done then.
We are. I was going to keep this screen up for a second, and I'm going to go to. We kind of already talked about our teams. I was going to pull up a couple of other teams. You don't have to keep it open if you don't want to. I can read off the team to you, or you can keep it open. You see where to go for teams?
Yep.
Okay. Let's take a look at Catherine. I don't think she was on auto pick at all this draft.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll look at her receivers. She was the one who took Percy Harvin and Cordero Patterson. Oh, yay, ads.
Yeah, I know, right? It's obnoxious.
They got to make money somehow. So she went Harvin, Cordell Patterson as her wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. I know you said you're high on Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Harvin as the second wide receiver?
No, I'd rather have Cordarrelle and Harvin switched, honestly.
Okay. I mean, what she could do every week.
I think Cobb's more of a 2 than he is a 1. Or at least a high 2, low end 1. I love Peterson. Don't like her halfbacks at all. Bell is her starter, and then her only backup is Danny Woodhead.
Yeah.
Which is really scary.
Yeah. Sorry, Catherine. I didn't want to pick on you. I just thought we'd go to the only one that was a female.
I'll pick on whoever.
How about probably the weirdest name in the whole draft, Big Papa Pump?
Sounds dirty.
It does. He has Matt Ryan, Keenan Allen, Roddy White. I don't know why I'm reading
He
this.
picked 2 kickers!
Oh, man.
He fails.
Okay,
Once.
I have a friend who I
Once.
helped out for his draft. And I'm not going to mention his name,
Do it.
but if he does watch this, he'll be upset. I was helping him pick, and he ended up getting a very solid team, but he likes to take 2 kickers and 2 defenses.
Why?
And it kind of drove me insane not to yell at him.
Why? Why did he take 2 kickers?
He doesn't like to drop a good kicker to pick up another good one on the bye week because he thinks that kicker will get picked up, which may happen, but
I've done it before.
highly doubtful though.
But
you know?
then just cut
And
like
there's
your
not much
crappy
difference.
backup that
Right.
you're going to end up having.
Right, which that was what I was trying to tell him, but he was sticking to his strategy there with the 2 defenses and the 2 kickers. So for me, he lost out on 2 draft picks. But
Well, Al's friend, I don't think you're being very smart. So
he does go to the University of Nevada, like me. So we have, according to the system of education or whatever it is, we have the number 52nd ranked education. in the United States, which puts us dead last.
Oh.
So, yeah. I don't know if that's
Wait.
for universities and colleges, but for public schooling, we're 52nd.
Ouch. What else are they adding on? There's only 50 states. Are they including like
Hawaii and
DC as separate?
Alaska.
Well, yeah, but that includes the states. Are they
Uh,
including like DC as like a separate area and Puerto Rico as one?
I don't know. Probably. We were dead last. So see, there I go with
Ouch.
my Nevada education.
Ouch.
I can't even remember how many states we have. Let's get back to this big Papa Pump. Forte ball.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, pretty solid. But then you look at his bench, and he's only got one backup.
It's because I have all the halfbacks.
I think me and you have 12 halfbacks combined, 6 and 6. So I think we might have hoarded them. Keenan Allen as his 1, Roddy White as his 2, Wes Welker as his 3. I don't mind that either.
I think Allen's more of a 2, but you got White and Allen, so I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
And he took Tyler Eifert.
I know
Best tight end in the league. Best one to do it ever.
What?
I'm obviously kidding.
God.
All right. I'm going to close the screen recording then.
All right.
And we can get out of there. And let's see, anything else you want to talk about before we close up shop?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Right.
Kind of got through the overvalue and undervalue through the mock draft, so that worked well.
I think the one thing that I do want to say as I'm typing to save this, don't reach on. I mean, I know a lot of them were auto pick, but just don't reach on kicker and defense. This is National Draft Weekend, so there's going to be a lot of people drafting this weekend.
Yeah.
Usually on Sunday to let most of the games be played. But my first advice for a draft do or don't is don't take a kicker or defense before your last 2 rounds. I don't care if you like Seattle's defense. Just don't do it.
Just don't. Don't be that guy.
Seriously. Anytime you can get labeled that guy, then you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
I mean, other instances where you can get labeled that guy is when you're the one that's kicked out of the bar and the rest of your friends have to take you home. You are then that guy.
Never be that guy.
What's another instance you can think of that's not good?
Anything in which you are obnoxious in a public setting.
Yes.
You at a restaurant, movie theater, whatever.
Oh, the cell phone in the movie guy.
Also that one. That one applies too.
Don't be that guy.
I was actually that guy one time.
Yeah,
I was forced to take my sister to like a movie. Like it was like some chick flick that I had no interest in seeing. So I sat in the very back right corner and played on my phone the entire time.
Very nice. At least you were respectful and in the back right corner.
Yeah, like no one saw, so it was fine.
I've definitely been that guy before too. As Noodle decides to chime in once again. I don't know if you heard him.
I heard him.
Don't be that guy who has the dog barking in the background while they're doing a video cast.
Exactly.
I guess that's probably it for draft strategy, aside from what we've already covered in the past 2 episodes, from me at least.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching the CS Report. When this is archived, you'll be able to see the mock draft board as it's happening through my computer, what I saw. And you'll hear Tom and I commentating throughout it. And you won't have to see our faces as much. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Probably a good thing.
Thanks for watching the CS Report Episode 3. Next week, we try to do Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, depending on our schedules. And I think we'll try to stick to that for next week as well, Tom?
We'll try. I start classes, so.
Me too.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. if anything, we could do a really short one because it's the 4th week of preseason. We've already talked about draft strategies. There might not even be a lot to talk about. Yeah. So maybe we can get on, do 3 debates, and then that's it.
That could work too.
Okay, very cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Go check out chatsports.com if you have not. Follow me, Al King, on Chat Sports, another writer. He's Tom Downey, underneath the writers. Or you can follow me on Twitter at AlKing906 or follow Tom at
What Going Downey.
Very cool. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks.